Shalini Bharadwaj. Welcome back to ITV Network's Medically Speaking. In our last episode, we discussed about tuberculosis, and today we are going to discuss about increasing COVID-19 cases in India. We have with us on our panel Dr. Neeraj Nishal, who is an Associate Professor Medicine at All India Institute of Medical Sciences. We have with us Dr. Anjan Trikha, who is the Chairman of Clinical Managerial Group COVID Center at AIMS. We have with us Dr. Arunesh Kumar, who is HOD Respiratory Medicine at Paras Hospital. Welcome to Medically Speaking. Sir, there is my first question goes to Dr. Anjan. Sir, there is one study which says that this particular wave we can say, or we can say COVID ripple, it is going to continue till 100 days of time. There is a report of some SBI. What you would like to comment on this?
Yeah, I think it could go on for 100 days. It could go on for 150 days. It is all speculations, and a study like this speculates a lot, and they have a lot of mathematical equations with which they make these kind of predictions. But what is important is that we are having a second stage, and unless we take care, we don't know what's going to happen. Okay, so let's not try to predict how many days it's going to last or how many days it's going to affect us. Let us try to see how we can shorten it. If I say it is going to last for 200 days, would people start wearing a mask and have a COVID behavior? No. So the idea is not to predict the number of days. The idea is that let's see how we can stop it. We've already lowered our guards. Each one of us has attended weddings and religious ceremonies at all over the places or parties, and we are feeling what is happening. We have seen the cricket matches. There were about 50,000 people in cricket matches. So it all comes back after 2 to 3 weeks, and this is exactly what we are seeing.
So true, sir. Dr. Neeraj, sir, as we are discussing about COVID-19, almost a year has been passed. Everybody is talking, we are learning so much, right? We are reading also. But, who is responsible for this? If we talk about, we can say that, people are not ready to follow the guidelines. Do you think this is one of the biggest reason of the mutation of this particular virus?
Yeah, first of all, I will just like to echo Dr. Anjan sir's comment because you can make a prediction. We all know for how long this particular infection or the wave is going to continue will entirely depend on how we react to the situation. So even last year, many doomsday predictions were made, some rosy pictures were painted. So all were proven wrong because of the behavior of the people or the measures which were taken. So again, this 100-day prediction, if you behave properly, you may not see that particular wave which we are talking about. And if we become irresponsible, forget about 100 days. It could last for 1,000 days if we are not careful. Because unless everybody gets an immune protection, this waves will keep on coming. We have been discussing this thing for almost last 1 year now. So it all depends on our behavior. And if you say who is responsible for this mutation of the virus, we all know this virus requires a human host for multiplication. And we have been talking, if we are not going to rent our body as an experiment lab for this virus, we are not going to see any mutant variants in our country. But if we keep on providing this body for their experiment of this virus, if we keep them, population is infected by this virus, these viruses have tendency to mutate, which is a known fact. This mutation could be fatal. This could be just because virus is trying to evolve so as to it survives. It has maximum chances of survival inside host. Though most of the species try to coexist with its host, and maybe this virus is trying that. But since its mechanism is not foolproof, so there could be variant which could be very fatal. There could be variant which can be just infectious, more infectious but less fatal. So that is what this virus is trying to experiment and achieve. But till it achieves that thing, we are at risk of getting a dangerous strain, which may actually prove more fatal and cause complicated disease. So it all depends on us, our behavior. If we behave properly, if we behave responsibly, we can control. Else, we will keep on seeing these mutant strains very frequently.
Dr. Arunesh, sir, what is this particular double mutant? What exactly it is?
These are certain things which are coming out with, as we know more about the viruses, we know about the mutations. This is nothing new about this virus, any virus for that matter. All the viruses mutate. Now, mutations are never mean bad thing. Sometimes mutations happen for good because they become less infective. Sometimes mutation can be for bad. They become more virulent. Bad thing is, I mean, and that's what these double mutations have been found. Some mutations, as you know, I mean, UK variant, South African variant, Brazilian variant, you name it. Very soon there will be an Indian variant as well, because because they will mutate, and some new, as we do the genetic studies, we find out a new name for it, new code for it. Now, having a mutation, I mean, we shouldn't be worried too much about the mutations. We should be worried about even those mutated variants. Their mode of transmission is same as the native mutant. They transmit with the secretions. They transmit via droplets when you cough, and when you don't wear mask, they will spread. So idea is, whatever virus somebody is getting infected should be tested, should be treated, and we should contain. Principle remains the same. At the moment, I don't want to be sounding alarmist that with this mutation there's some everybody is going to be in a deep trouble or something. I think let us treat it as any other virus that we have been with for the last 1 year. It's no different. It also behave in the same way. Good thing about it is we are not seeing many sick patients as we were seeing 1 year back then. They are not, believe me, out of, there are hardly 2 to 3% patients who are very sick. Rest of the patients are same. So actually we are seeing a better trend. If at all there is an infection, patients are getting less sick. And let's hope as the vaccinations apply, as the vaccinations is rolling out, as the government is doing now, including 45 years onwards, more and more people will get vaccinated. Let's move forward. I appeal that people should come get themselves vaccinated, so that even if you don't get, if you are vaccinated, if you get COVID, you're not going to get severe COVID. We know that. So let's use the knowledge which we know most. Let's not get alarmist about this double or triple mutations. I don't believe, let this for the virologists to deal with. Let's treat this virus same as we have treated last year. You observe the COVID appropriate behavior, and if somebody has got it, treatment is there. We know more about the treatment now as we used to do a year back. So we have got some positive things here. Let's take the positives and move forward.
Dr. Anjan, sir, do you think it is a high time to start a mass vaccination in India?
It's easier saying that what we should be doing in India. We must not forget that we are 1.4 billion strong. We spread from Srinagar to Kanyakumari and from Assam to Gujarat. So I think vaccination program of the government is doing excellently. It is seamless. I have seen it in Delhi. You can go anywhere. There is no rush. They've done an excellent job of it. However, it will take time. We are so many in numbers. Now they said that doctors will get it, the security persons will get it, the police wallas will get it, the frontline warriors will get it, then the old people will get it. Now 45 years and above will get it. Now today only I saw in the TV there was a breaking news that we will not export any vaccine unless we have taken care of our own selves. So government is doing the government job. A government cannot do everything. Government cannot come to my house and put a mask on my face. Government cannot stop me from going out of my house. So this is what you and me have got to do. You go to the market. There was a photograph of the Sarojini market, Lajpat Nagar market, Chandni Chowk, Karol Bagh. They are all overflowing because people think Holi will never come back again. The chances are if they get a virus, they become very sick, land up on a ventilator, maybe Holi will never come back again for them. So it is not that case. The government would do it. Now above 45 years, anybody can walk in. And mind you, there is so much of vaccine discussion going on in our country. It is never happening anywhere in the world. People who are not even graduates are trying to discuss whether they should take a Covishield or a Covid vaccine. Let the government decide. There are knowledgeable people sitting there in the planning commission at various hospitals, various commissions. Let them decide what is good and bad for the country. And then everybody tries to have a discussion. I don't want this, I don't want that. So, and then we know there are certain gray areas. There will be gray areas in a pandemic. There will be gray areas in a disease which is evolving. Like it has been rightly said, there will be mutations. There are already about 140 odd mutations which have been documented in the virus. The virus will mutate. That's not a problem. And hopefully it will mutate and it will become non-infective, which we are already seeing. But then that doesn't mean people are not dying. You have a number of people who are dying, and who will die. The saddest part of this disease is that only thing we know is that people with comorbidities are likely to do badly and they are likely to die, though less in number. But out of those comorbidities, who will die or who will not die, I don't know. And there will be a small number now where people will have pure COVID without comorbidities. They will also land up on a ventilator and they may also die. So we just don't have those predictive factors with us at the present time. So we will have to take care. We will have to take care and we will have to do the things.
Dr. Neeraj, sir, as of now, if we talk about the virus also, and do you think we need to have more vaccines?
See, whatever vaccines we have, say, as Sir said, it's a pandemic time, we cannot be choosy which is better, which is not better. So even if you say, it's like if you are drowning, if you get hold of a straw, that may be more than sufficient to save your life. So here again, we don't know who is going to land up on ventilator. We have no way of predicting. Somebody who has so many comorbidities, 90 plus, they have come out without any problem. And we have seen somebody in 20s and we have not been able to save them. And ultimately, blame comes on healthcare workers that they have not been able to save them. But there's nothing we can do about in this virus apart from providing supportive care. That's why these two vaccines which are available, even if its efficacy is between 60 to 80%, I don't care. As long as they are safe, providing some sort of immunity, one should not hesitate. Whatever vaccine they are getting, they should come forward and take it as soon as possible. No questions about that. As far as whether we are going to get another vaccine or we should be having more vaccines with us, that is again something you cannot generate a vaccine overnight. All these vaccines have come very fast, agreed, but they have taken time, at least 1 year. Of course, there are a number of other vaccines which are in pipeline. One of the most promising is nasal vaccines. And once it is launched, again, the immunization program will be more easy and smooth to carry forward. But till the time we have other vaccines, we have to rely on what we have. And I think these two vaccines are perfect vaccines, and one should not delay or hesitate in taking this.
So do you think...
I would just like to add here.
Yes,
I'd just like to add here. Me and Neeraj work in the same place, and he's totally right in saying we've at least had from the last 1st of April to this year, we have had about 4 people above the age of 90 who have gone back home. 90, 92, 93. We have had the most powerful people or rich people dying. We've had the youngest people dying, and we've had the oldest people going back home. So let this be known to everybody. It is not like that this cannot happen to me. This can happen to each one of us. So that kind of a feeling should be there. You may call it fear. It is something like I won't have a malignancy. I won't get a cancer. ऐसा नहीं होता है. Anybody can get malignancy, anybody can get a cancer, and anybody's cancer can be a good cancer or a bad cancer.
That's true, sir.
Precaution and treatment and prevention is the thumb rule.
That's important. Dr. Anjan, sir, do you think a time will come that this particular virus will become like a common flu?
All of us know that. And I am telling you today that we'll have to live with this virus like we live with so many viruses. There will be certain norms which we'll have to follow. This will gradually go. The last pandemic took about 2 to 3 decades to go. I know the science has improved. The last pandemic which came in 1900, it took a long time. This pandemic is 1 year old. A time will come when we'll live with it. We will get used to it, and it will be like we'll get our jabs every year. There is already a jab. Johnson & Johnson have brought out a single shot vaccine, and in USA it has been given to the homeless people because they can't be traced for the second vaccine. So there will be very many options available. Neeraj has talked about a nasal drop vaccine. That will also come, and we will have to live with it. Maybe every 1 year or every 14 months we will get a shot done like we do it for influenza. How many people in India take an influenza shot? Not many, but if you go all over the world, you go to an office in Europe or UK or America, let that office be Amazon or Uber or Apple, they will advise you to take an influenza shot. because that is what prevention is. You may get influenza after that, but your severity will be less. The same is true with the vaccine. Let's not talk about numbers. Efficacy is 74%, 82%. These are the numbers the pharmaceuticals will push. Let us be honest that if you have had the jab and you've had the antibodies, and it takes a time before, after the second jab, that you will have antibodies. If you contract, if you get the virus, your disease is likely to be less severe.
Dr.
And period, and
Arunesh,
they should be.
yeah, Dr. Arunesh, so do you think this particular variant is the reason behind increasing number of COVID-19 cases in India? Or we can
Well,
say
there's
second
no,
wave?
yeah, there's no such evidence. We don't have. We need to wait for the further. We don't have that evidence that particularly this is. But even the old ones, where in fact they are virulent, they can transmit. We know that, and you know, there was a dip. There was a dip in the new infection because people were a bit became more disciplined. There was a time. So if you go 2-3 months back, you know, people started putting on masks. You know, they were doing all the COVID appropriate behaviors, and the number went down. I don't think this surge is particularly because of and that's why I want to downplay the mutations. I mean, for public, if one message goes out from here, let us treat this virus same as it was a year ago. Let's not go into the nitty-gritties of mutations and all. This is all, you know, having access knowledge to everyone. These are the lab knowledge. People who deal, let the virologist think about it. They will tell you, they will tell us, even for us, you know, general physicians and practitioners, we don't treat anybody different. That if it is a variant from UK variant or Hong Kong variant or African variant, they have just a COVID-19 disease. Now, there is no evidence as yet, and I'm saying it again, emphatically, there is no evidence as yet that this increase is related to the new mutant variant. It might be. In coming days, we'll have more information. We'll have more data. More genotyping will be done. Molecular studies will be done. Then we will have more data to say that it is happening. Treatment remains the same. Precaution remains the same. Mask remains the utmost important. We have to reduce the chain of spread. We have to contain it. If you are sick, if you have been found to have COVID-19, if you're not very sick, you stay home, you know, you quarantine yourself for 17 days, you'll be all right. If you are unwell, if you are breathless, if you have got a fever, you need to seek early, help. If you have got the comorbidities, you should be extra careful. That's what we have been telling for the last 1 year. We are still saying the same. So let's not take this outbreak or this new resurgence as something new. It's a part and parcel of the same virus, which we have not been able to contain. And they have come out of their domain, which we had done that before, because people are not, sir was just saying that, you know, go to the markets, people are not wearing masks. So it doesn't matter whichever mutant it is, it will spread. Doesn't matter. I mean, for me, any
undoubtedly, we can say that people have taken it for granted they have taken it.
Yes, exactly. That's what it is. Yes. And let's not take it for granted. We don't have a treatment for this condition. We still say this. All the management we are doing is for symptom control. There's no accurate antiviral we have got. So if this spreads again, it is going to take our time. We were stretched last year. Again, we are about to be stretched. We are doing that already. We are seeing about a month. We were seeing some good news. Now again, we are stretched. Our hospitals, we have got limited space in the hospitals. How we are going to look after this 1.4 billion people? Even the 10% or 5% of them get infected and need hospital bed, we don't have one. So onus is on the people to follow the COVID appropriate guidelines. This is the only way out. There's nothing else. Let the vaccine skepticism go down. I hear this and I get very angry when people say, oh, I will get a blood clot in the brain with the Covaxin. I mean, for the God's sake, what is the normal? Even if you don't take the vaccine, what are your chances of getting a clot in your brain and DVT? It's 3%, 2 to 3%. You don't take it. Your lifetime risk is of that much. So what is the evidence if out of those many crores of people, 80, 60 cases of, thrombosis happens, and that is being hyped. So if you don't have any other option, if you don't have any other treatment, if you don't have any better option, you better heed to whatever is in front of you. Bakers cannot be the choosers. You have got limited options and you have to take that option. So I think vaccine skepticism should go down. People should observe the COVID appropriate behavior. And that's what we have got at this point.
That's really important. Dr. Neeraj, sir, are you getting COVID-19 patients with different or slightly different symptoms?
So I will just carry forward whatever discussion about mutation was going on. So one has to understand, you just can't blame mutation of the virus as the cause of rise of cases. If there had been increase in cases of reinfection, if we have been seeing patients who are getting reinfected once they have got infection in the past and now they are getting infection now, then we could have blamed this mutant variant as a cause of this increase in number. But what we believe that it's the mutation of the behavior of the people, which is the prime cause of this increase in number of cases. It's not related to the mutation of the virus. So unless there is increase in cases of reinfection, I don't think we should be blaming this virus mutation as a cause of rise of vaccine. And that's why this social vaccination, which we have been talking about through this program and other program, that is of paramount importance. And as discussed in earlier part of program as well, we are not seeing any different presentation of this patient, which what we have been seeing in the past. It has been almost same. And luckily, to be very frank, we are not seeing that much sicker patients, and many people are opting for home isolation because the rise of number of cases is not reflecting in hospital number of cases currently, but it may increase because if we are not careful and we are not monitoring our disease progression, then we might be getting more sicker patients because if people opt for staying at home and once they get sick, of course, we are going to get sicker patients in our hospital. So the rise of number of cases and number of patients in hospital, this takes some time to reflect actually. So if we don't follow COVID appropriate behavior 2 weeks back, then cases will start coming after 2-3 weeks. It's not that the number of cases will increase immediately. And that's what we have to understand. If we start behaving properly now, then effect will we will see somewhere in April, not before that. So it's important that we follow COVID appropriate behavior. That is the only way we can fight this pandemic.
Dr. Anjan, sir, what message you would like to give?
The message which I would like to give is, I will just give a scenario of the month of May and June last year to your audience. In our hospital, we were trying to arrange for last rites of all patients who had died, depending upon their religion, and we had taken the onus that we will provide the slots. We will talk to the various cremation grounds or burial grounds and see to it that the relatives are taken along with the bodies and taken there, right? I just want to put it to your audience that there was a time when there were no slots available. For days together, there were no slots available in any cremation ground in the cremation grounds in the city. Let's not think of having that kind of scenario again. Please. You will have to do it for your own self and not for Shalini Bharadwaj or Anjan Trikha. They will have to do it for their children, their parents, their grandparents, and for themselves. Let's not get our guards down. This is my message across.
Thank you, Dr. Neeraj. Thank you, Dr. Arunesh, Dr. Anjan Trikha, for sharing such an important information with us. At last, the thing which is important, that is that people has to take care of themselves by their own, and they have to follow guidelines. This is the vaccine, that is social vaccine that can protect them. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Shalini.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.